Hey guys, Wraith calling in. We're going to watch MadFriday in the IS7 Tier 10 Russian heavy tank on Cliff, and we're going to see him go to work. Now, it's not a very Tier 10 game. There's a handful on each side, so this is going to be very, very good matchmaking for MadFriday. And he's going to take the IS7, and because of that, he's going to push all the way up, and he's going to go all the way up to the edge here of the ridge. Now, the IS7 has arguably some of the best armor in the game for a heavy tank, other than the front of the peak there, which if as long as he can keep that lower plate covered up, he can be very tough to dig out of any hole he chooses to park into. Now, if Artie's on the ball, the enemy Artie can dig him out of that hole, but Man's going to probably push up all the way to the next corner and try to get Artie saved. Now, he counters another enemy tank. There's friendly 140 being a little pushy, because 140 drivers are always a little pushy. And Man's going to keep pushing up right behind 140. And he's going to come up here and try to dominate this center part of the map, which he probably can do being the Tier 10 tank. Now, he's going to keep an eye out for Artie and be conscious of that. And two Tier 10s sticking side by side like this is almost sure to attract the attention of enemy Artie once they get spotted. But right now, Mad's undeterred. Takes a big hit into the T-30. Don't know how much exactly his damage was due, but did get hit. Does get a few spots in. There's an AMX CDC, and he is not going to have the armor to sit here and take one of the hits from this big 130mm gun. There you go. Probably tracked him as well. Again, we didn't see the damage. And the T-30's lit back up, and you see the kind of damage Mad's already done to him. And lo and behold, there's a little T-20 on the run, and Mad hits him on the move. Very good shot from medium distance with a moderately accurate IS-7's gun. And that gives him his first kill. He's going to keep nosing back up here. And you see he's getting some return fire in, and the CDC decides to stop again. Matt tracks him a little off, takes a hit probably from the lower plate where it bounced into. And I imagine that was probably, can't quite tell, not a very big hit, so it's kind of hard to say who actually penned him. It might have actually been the CDC because it was so low damage. He's keeping an eye on the center. It looks like the team has dominated the center, so Mad's up here. He pushed up to this rock, so we got a little cover from Artie. And he's going to kind of side scrape out a little bit. He's got to be careful he doesn't over side scrape and make that peak easier to penetrate in the front of the tank. I do have to get kind of piked formation on the front of the armor there. Now, down below there is the T-54 light. It's a Tier 8 Russian light tank. And he's trying to find a good angle to get shots off without being too exposed to enemy incoming fire as his team dominates this part of the map. Now, not knowing where the enemy team is, if you look at the position where the friendly team is, the enemies are kind of all parked back here in the back, and that's not going to be good because that means they can get fire from all kinds of angles and may not necessarily see the tanks where it's firing from. You see he's struggling with the gun depression. He's going to kind of have to realign himself a little bit. Just an awkward little bump here where he's sitting at, not letting him get the gun down well enough. And he's going to end up probably hanging off the cliff, trying to go down slowly because the hill's just not working with him. And he comes on, hey, right behind a T. Puts one of the T10 there, bounces one back. Now he's backing off a little bit, trying to get a little cover from the hill there and kind of keep his lower plate from being too exposed. That's why he's turning like this, trying to minimize it, but not when over angry. Takes a shot in the track from the T10. This next shot, if he gets it off, will finish off the T10, which has pretty mediocre armor for a Tier 9 heavy tank. And he's going to continue to push up. He's going to get service. The AMX CDC has been running for this entire game for Mad. He's going to come up with another big hit and another 500 hit points damage. And the IS-7's got a lot of armor. You see rounds are bouncing off of him all over the place. He still only has that one hit penetrate. The tracks on this thing are massive with spaced armor behind it. They're just above it. Just kind of hold on from the front. Now he's finally starting to take some more hits, but most of his tracks are eating it. It's amazing just how much damage the tracks on these tanks can eat. And no one's quite got the juice to punch through him. He's rocking back and forth, not letting anybody make it difficult for him to clear shot his lower plate, trying to keep it covered. There's another one he bounced off the side of the turret. From the T-95 it looks like, and that's something that should give Matt a little bit of a pause. He's trying to find the turret hatch. Does so with a nice shot, finishes him off. That's one threat for Matt out of the way, and he goes back to focusing on the lightweight. There's another heavy behind him. I think it's maybe the Challenger. Ooh, lights him on fire, kills the lightweight with a little flaming jab. Pushes up, there's the Artie. And that was a miss. That was all splash damage. He was not directly hit by the arty. Puts around to the British tank, finishes him off. Turns, now time to hunt the arty. This is actually a very quick game. And I don't know if Mad's fast enough to beat everybody else to the arty. The IS7. This is fairly mobile for a heavy tank. And what does move fairly well. And I don't think he's going to make it. Nope, the light tanks have got there. They're already feasted on easy damage for them. And there you go, and that's the game. But Mad walked with 4 kills. Now, even though you're a heavy tank, don't think you can't spot and can't scout, because Mad did a lot of spotting as well as damage in this game. Walked with 60,000. Some of that's going to be from the missions. He had 4,500 damage, 2,800 block, 3,100 assistance, so he gets a little over 7,600 combined damage and assistance. Walked with a steel wall for good measure and a sniper medical figure. It's the second mark of excellence on this tank. He walked with 1,500 base XP, 4 kills, 4,500 damage. A good game. Thanks for Matt for sending me in. I do appreciate it. As always, guys, keep your powder dry.